Happy Roho Monday. You can see where I am. I am in my happy place here and feeling great. Um, so, one of the things that I have been dealing with that I really want to share is this whole thing about telling the truth when you are dealing with a narcissist, right? So, this is a real thing. So, what happens when you are dealing with someone who lies and gaslights and manipulates and you're still trying to do the right thing? Like, where's that balance between honesty and self protection? Where is that? How do we strike that balance? And I'm not saying this as a moral question. This is a safety question. I'm engaging with somebody who has time and time and time again demonstrated that they will not operate in good faith. So, what sense does it make for me to keep trying to play by the rules? We're seeing that in our government. Like, why are we, we know what this is. Why are we still trying to operate as if truth and facts and all of that matters? So, I've been really struggling with that because, I have this whole thing around grace and I have this whole thing around my faith and my spiritual faith that I don't need to lie about it. Just say what it is and let God deal with it. And then there are times in the moment where I'm like, oh, this is war. This is war, And so how do you strike that balance, right? So for me, I will say it does not make sense to be fully transparent with somebody who's proven. Why would you tell the truth with somebody who will misuse and manipulate your truth? I don't volunteer information. I've stopped explaining myself or trying to correct every lie in real time. But if we're going to play fair, if I'm going to play by the rules, that requires shared agreements and shared rules. Otherwise, I'm just handing myself over on a silver platter, it feels like, right? So I don't want to, but then if you play their game and then you just become this liar about stuff, then it becomes, see, she's lying too. So I don't want to mirror his behavior, but I also don't want to be unprotected. So I just think that there's this line between being honest, but also being honest about what it is you're dealing with. Because if honesty means self-sacrifice, then no, that's not what I'm interested in. I've tried honesty. I've tried grace. I've tried money. I've thrown everything at it, and it's always met with whatever I throw out there is picked up, twisted, and then thrown back out like it's something completely different. Right? So I don't want to be the most ethical person in a dynamic where somebody else is being abusive. That does not work. So I am sharing this today because it is one of the things that I'm really grappling with. And that is, it's not my job to teach him integrity. My job is to protect myself and leave with my sanity, my truth, and my life intact. And where is that line between meeting him with all of his deception at that level and then, or being just so like, no, that, it's grace and patience and integrity and compassion. That it doesn't work. So I think I'm going to find there's got to be a middle ground. There has to be. There always is a middle ground. So it's almost like if my honesty puts me in danger, then I need to redefine. I need to redefine what that honesty is and what it does. Right? If honesty makes me the sacrificial lamb, how do I just say, just outright lie? Right? That's what he's doing. Yuck. And I'm going to protect myself. And I've I feel like when they go low, what is that? When they go low, I go high. I'm tired of going high. So tired of looking for higher ground, so if you're not in a good faith relationship, I just feel like all bets are off. You do what the hell you need to do to protect yourself. That's just where I'm at. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you have to be someone totally different in order to engage with this thing or find some kind of truth or protect yourself, then you got no judgment here. I'm trying to sort myself out in that exact thing right now. I don't have the answer. Hey, maybe there's an answer here. Let's see if there's an answer here. Ooh, what is the answer? I didn't think about that. The answer is accept. So you gotta accept. The faster you can accept this situation, the faster you get to your new future is waiting. So here's what I'm seeing about this. Only by accepting what is can you change what will be. Embrace the present moment fully. So here's what I'm taking away from this. I don't even know if that's what the author meant at the time, but here's what I'm taking away from it in this moment. Accepting who that person is and creating strategy and creating your next steps based on that. Because if I try to operate in good faith with somebody who is not operating in good faith, then I'm not fully accepting the reality of the situation. It is what it is. Accept who they are and be in relationship to whatever the current situation is based on that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it right there. See you next week.